Okay, so y'all already know that I'm messy, okay? And what I mean by that is because I'm like really nosy. I guess maybe I should start saying I'm more nosy than messy, but then I classify myself as messy because I talk about the drama, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm part of that bunch. But anyways, what I'm saying is, y'all, is that like low key, I guess I'm really messy because I'm kind of sad that the Love Island season 7 drama has just really been dying down. There hasn't been too much to talk about, and I really do feel like they went on this really like big high, and then it's just kind of like fading away and like going down. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, oh my gosh, for months there it was like the talk of the town, and I really do feel like there was just so much juicy stuff happening. However, I really do feel like since the reunion, actually even before the reunion, if I'm keeping it real with you guys, I think that everybody from the cast has like learned now to be so like media trained. So therefore they're like, okay, let me not be messy, let me not throw shade, let me not, throw anybody under the bus. I really do feel like Ace was actually the only person to get really messy, especially after the reunion. But low key, I feel like that ended up backfiring on him, and like low key ended up making him look like a little bit of a weenie, if I'm keeping it honest with you guys, because I'm like, sir, you were there in like this whole entire group setting to where you were able to confront people. That's the whole purpose of a reunion, is to confront people about things, and he didn't confront nobody about anything until after the fact, which low key made him look, like a weenie, like I said, okay? Anyways, other than that, though, I really do feel like there hasn't been much to talk about. Obviously, yes, we do know that Iris and Pepe broke up. We do know that Amaya and Bryan broke up. And I just feel like everybody has been laying low. Well, now Amaya's actually getting onto YouTube, and she actually did address some things about Bryan, which I'm kind of surprised that she even did because, like I said, I really do feel like ever since being on the show, I just feel like, I don't know if I'm crazy on this. Like, please let me know if I'm the only one that feels this way. I really do feel like this whole entire cast has been so like PR trained. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they know how to handle themselves so well, and it's so crazy to me because let's go ahead and keep it real here. Most of the people who make it to like stardom like that and fame the way that they just had, normally you don't know how to act for like the first couple years. You know what I'm saying? Because this is obviously so new to you. And considering that they went on to this reality TV show, it blew up. They came out of the house having millions of followers. Like, y'all, most of them went into the house probably only having like between 10 and 100,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? And then to come out having millions of viewers, normally you don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, y'all, like I've been doing social media for so long now, and I feel like if I were to ever become like famous, like their type of fame, you know what I mean? I obviously wouldn't know how to act. Y'all know that I have a big ass mouth, and sometimes I don't filter myself, so I wouldn't know how to act. And with them, I really do feel like all of them just like know how to answer questions when TMZ comes up to them, when they're in an interview, when they're in a podcast style setting. I just really feel like they all know how to answer. In my personal opinion, I genuinely feel like they're that way because of how hateful like opposite people's fan bases have gotten. And I really do feel like they're like, you know what, I don't want any smoke with this person's fan base or that person's fan base, so they obviously take the high road, which low-key I do think is kind of sad, okay, coming from a messy nosy person like myself. Like, I'm like, I want the reality of it, you know what I'm saying? Like when Iris and Pepe broke up, I was like, let's go ahead and keep it real. Like, what happened over here? Was Pepe, really seeing somebody else? Were they really even into each other? Were they just sticking together for the show? You know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, I really do feel like a lot of people go up on the show literally just looking for a career opportunity. And honestly, y'all, like I can't even fault them for that. I feel like if you have that stepping stone to get up onto a show and like obviously catapult your social media career, or, even say, for example, if you want to be in TV in general, not even just social media, if that's the stepping stone to do it, then take that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, for those of you that know Trisha Paytas, like she has been on so many damn TV shows, and I really do feel like she's taken every single opportunity to get onto a reality TV show, obviously to help boost her career. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't really hate on that. However, I would like for people to keep it real after the fact, because I got to keep it real with you guys, okay? And I've said this time and time again, I feel like if I went up on the show and I was like, you know what? Like, hey, it would be really nice if I were to find love here. Of course, I'd be so open to it. However, if that's not really working out, then of course I'm going to play the game and obviously, try to be a little bit messy, try to be a little bit shady, and try to obviously, get my name talked about, so that way when I come up out of the house, then obviously I have like me a little social media career, and I don't see anything really wrong with that. However, I would keep it real though, and I'd be like, you know what? I wasn't into anybody on the show, and the people that I was coupled up with, even though it seemed like, yeah, we had a really good connection, the truth of the matter is, no, we didn't, and I was just milking it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anything wrong with that. Anyways, though, I feel like everything has just been so mellow. However, I do want to go ahead and talk about Amaya, but I do want to go ahead and talk about Huda and Lewis once again because, oh my gosh, y'all, please tell me why, okay? Like I had mentioned before in my other videos, as soon as Huda like confirmed her relationship with Lewis, I didn't really like know who he, like, honestly, if I'm keeping it with you guys, I still don't really know who he is. I was just reading other people's comments before and then seeing other people's like TikToks, and they were all saying like, oh, he's from like several other dating shows before. A lot of people were really upset actually when they made their first red carpet debut, Huda and Lewis. Everyone was like, wait, like he's on an upcoming dating show. So like this is low-key ruining the dating show because now we know he's not ending up with anybody from the dating show. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I don't even know what dating show they're talking about. Like I think they had said that it was something on Netflix or something like that, which I don't know. Maybe like Huda ended up being on the show and then they ended up hitting it off. I don't know, because obviously, as we do know, that there's something going on with Netflix and Huda, which low-key, I feel like hurry up and come out with the damn show, because I feel like her, look, I get it, she's super popular, she's doing really big things, okay, so I'm not even being shady when I say this, but I feel like her flame is kind of dying down now, obviously, because it's months out of the villa, and it's months after the reunion, and obviously, you know, she's just, you know, doing like little collabs here and there, but I don't know. I really do feel like what keeps people going is more reality TV shows, or even if they were to do kind of like a, you know, vlog style thing. Do you know what I mean? And I really do feel like right now, sure, she's making her bag. She's traveling the world. Actually, I'm going to play a clip for you guys because I didn't even know this guy Lewis played music. And I guess they're like out there in Tokyo, and he brought her onto stage, which I was sitting over here like, why did I not know that this man does music? I really, like, I'm telling you guys, I'm like, I never heard of him until Huda, but apparently he's really popular as well too. By the way, if you guys don't recall, I actually made a video like, what was it, probably about 2 weeks ago now, that Huda and him confirmed their relationship. I guess TMZ had rolled up on them in the airport and they like confirmed that they're legitimately together, and that like basically the interviewer was saying like, oh, so are you guys upset that you guys are like not going to be on dating shows anymore? And they said what they have is way more important than a dating show. So I was like, oh, everything does seem like legit between them. However, I do want to say this, that I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like they're like all of a sudden like a big power couple, because I was like, I saw this clip floating around TikTok and I was like, wait, like they're out here. I believe it was in Tokyo. I could be wrong though, because also too, I saw a clip that supposedly they were in Tokyo, and then I guess like she was even taking pictures with fans in Tokyo. So I do know they were there. However, this stage though, I don't know if it was in Tokyo or if it was in London, because I want to say like he took her out somewhere else too. So I was like, oh my gosh, like look at them being a power couple now. I was like, oh my gosh, is this like the new Rihanna and freaking Drake right here? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys remember what I'm talking about way back in the day. Like people would lose their mind, you know what I mean, over like Rihanna and Drake, and especially like when they would do their little collaborations. But damn, Drake ruined that relationship. Anyways, y'all, besides the point, please tell me why I just saw a clip of Huda. And go check it out on her TikTok if you guys want to be nosy. Please tell me why, okay, homegirl could sing. Like, she could really sing. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I have heard her say before that, like, she wants to pursue something in, like, theater or something like that, because she said, like, she's, like, a theater kid. However, I was like, oh, like, I just thought that maybe she would have, like, a theatrical type of voice. But I was like, no, she has, like, a really good singing voice. I was thinking that she would have one of those, you know, Broadway musical production style voices that just sound very theatrical and whatnot. And I was like, damn, homegirl can really sing. So I'm like, low-key, I wonder if they're gonna start making music together, because like I said, I didn't even know that he makes music, and then she's, I think, in the like process of making music, and I was like, damn, like I was honestly mind blown that she could actually like really sing, because I just feel like, I don't know, a lot of times when people say that they could sing, like it's really not all that good, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go to keep it real here. Okay, I'm not even trying to be shady, but like so many people, when they're like, oh yeah, like I want to be a singer. And you know what I'm really thinking of when I say this? I feel like whenever I hear like Real Housewives say that they want to sing or make songs or stuff like that, I'm like, y'all can't sing, okay? Like, let's just go ahead and stick to being a housewife and don't come out with music. Anyways, y'all, I want to go to play this clip right here to where he brings her on stage, because people really lost their mind. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like they are definitely a power couple. Check this out. Y'all, not that big old smooch up on the stage. I was like, oh my goodness gracious. I have to say this, good for them. However, I'm always gonna keep it real, okay? And you guys can judge me, that's totally fine, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys do anyways. I miss the messiness, okay? Even though, yes, okay, yes, I was judging her, obviously, for like being, super, super messy and super aggressive and really clingy and attached and all those things. And me saying, oh my gosh, she got red flags. Low key though, as I always said from the jump, I was like, she's the one that's making the season. Like, honestly, y'all, let's go ahead and keep it real. Without Hood on season 7, this shit would have been boring. Okay, let's just go ahead and keep it real. Like, yeah, Amaya got into a little bit of, some drama over there. And I feel like, who else like crashed out? Like, there really wasn't nothing. Like, Huda was the one that carried the season. You know what I'm saying? So even though, yes, obviously, when you do, display all your red flags on a damn, televised TV show, obviously, yes, a lot of people, like myself included, are going to look at you and be like, damn, girl, like, this is crazy. And you're going to be a little judgmental. You're going to be a little critical. You know what I'm saying? However, it really does make for good TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, if you guys watch 90 Day Fiancé, so many people talk shit about Jasmine. Okay, if you guys don't know who Jasmine is, watch the show. Just watch anyone with Jasmine in it, okay? Jasmine and Gino, okay? People like talk so much shit about Jasmine, but then I'm like, low key, she's so entertaining. Like, she's honestly made for TV. Yes, she's really annoying. Yes, she's very problematic. Yes, she's very aggressive. And oh my gosh, like, y'all, she is really, really out there. However, it's entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, like, I really do, but like, at the end of the day, obviously, when you're watching a TV show, low key, you want some drama, you want some comedy, and I'm like, someone like Jasmine, she gives you drama and comedy. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, y'all, good for them. Although I do miss the messiness, but I am curious to see, like, okay, it's been a couple months now since this whole Netflix rumor, and I'm like, what's going down with this Netflix stuff? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Amaya because there was a couple things that I do want to talk about, okay? A lot of people were questioning if she really is a nurse, which, by the way, I don't know how anybody would be able to even know that, but I have seen several people's TikToks, okay? And a lot of people were like, oh, I don't think she's really a nurse. And they specifically said because of, like, her vernacular and the way that she talks, and I gotta keep it with you guys, okay? I know a couple people, okay, that are registered nurses here in the state of California, okay, that talk way worse than she does. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it's really, I don't know the right word to use, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's obviously very easy for people to sit there and be like, oh, she's not a nurse or whatever, just because the way she talks. And yeah, let's go ahead and keep it real. When she was on the show, obviously, like her even saying, I want a man who's gratitudely. It's like, what, girl, what? Like, you're just making up your own words over here. Like, nothing really makes sense. I love her for that. I think she's so hilarious. But obviously, you have these people out here who are very, like, how are you a nurse? A lot of people were stating that she's really not a nurse. I don't really know. Like I said, y'all, if I were keeping it real with you guys, like, oh my gosh, maybe like this is like something that I'll tell on the live, okay, not like right now. But like there's a couple of my homegirl, well, let me say my homegirls, so like, friend ofs, let's just say, who I know that are registered nurses, and oh my god, y'all, like I honestly, I'm gonna be so for real with you guys, okay? Go ahead and judge me how you want, I don't give a shit. But one of my homegirl, I was like, hey, she's a registered nurse, and then my homegirl was like, yeah, she is. She's like at Long Beach, I forget the damn Long Beach Hospital, whatever the hell it's called. Anyways, I was sitting over here, I was like, girl, how did she become a registered nurse? Like, sometimes I'd be like, listening to the way some people talk, and I'm sitting over here like, damn, I'm a high school dropout. And I'm sitting over here like, damn, I sound more educated than you. But obviously, at the end of the day, this is where people need to realize some people just talk the way they talk. That doesn't mean that you're uneducated. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, when you're in a certain setting, do you know what I mean? When you're a little bit more chillax, you're a little bit more comfortable. Obviously, if you talk, uneducated, then that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I really do feel like sometimes people are, a little bit too judgmental, a little bit too, like, you know what I mean? They think that, like, you need to speak a certain way just to mean that you're educated. And it's like, you could really be book smart, but then also when it comes down to it, you could have, a certain type of slang that you are just comfortable talking with, that you grew up with. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I don't really get it. But anyways, I do want to go to play this clip right here because she is saying because, I guess basically, she started like a social media career now and she's making some big deals over here that she is no longer going to be nursing anymore. So check this out.
So I see questions about nursing, and like I said before, I am currently not in practice, but I will be going back to school to get my PhD because I want to be professor of Papaya. Yes, I currently still live in New York, and I do not see myself leaving New York anytime soon.
Yeah, y'all saw from right there, she is saying that she is going back to school to get her PhD, and this is where I say good for her. I really do like her, okay? And yes, I have seen, like I said earlier, I saw a lot of people low-key throwing a little bit of shade at her or whatever because she sounds uneducated, but I'm just kind of like, y'all, at the end of the day, this is what I always say about people, and it really boggles my mind that there's people out there that just are so, like, not well-traveled. Do you know what I mean? Like, even within the United States, it's kind of like we have so many different people that grew up in different upbringings who who have different slangs or like different accents, let's just say. Like, yo, I always see this white girl on TikTok, and a lot of people are like, girl, why you always talk like you're black? And she's from Louisiana. Like, she has like a Cajun Creole accent. And I'm like, I've been to Louisiana so many times that I'm sitting over here like, what do you mean? Why is she talking black? Like, it irritates the shit out of me that people say that, because I'm like, go to the South. Like, that's how everybody talks. It's not just like a specific race or a specific color. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I say about people, and like Amaya conclude or included in this, is just kind of like, people need to travel a little bit more, okay? Because I really do feel like as soon as you step outside of your bubble and you really do see that people from, you know, different areas talk different. Like, that's just the way it is. That doesn't mean that you can't be book smart, and that doesn't mean that you can't be educated, and that doesn't mean that you can't be a doctor. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why. I just feel like so many people like expect people to fit a certain mold, and you have to talk like super prim and proper to like show that you're a doctor. And it's just like, oh my gosh, y'all, it really does depend upon where you grew up and who you grew up around. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that's how you get your character. That's how you get your vernacular, your slang, your way of talking. Do you know what I mean? It just really shows me time and time again. Like, when I see people on TikTok, I'm like, damn, this just goes to show me that you have not traveled outside of your bubble, girl. Go to a different state, okay? Get a little, I don't know, culture, like, exposure over here, you know? Anyways, y'all. Oh, another thing that I do want to talk about right here is that, y'all, she is stunning right here. She just did a Poppy collaboration, which I do have to say this, though, because I was thinking about it, right? Since everyone calls her Amaya Papaya, obviously, because it rhymes. How come they didn't come out with a papaya flavored? Which, low-key, I gotta keep it with you guys. I don't like papaya. Like, honestly, even smelling papaya, like, that shit just grosses me out. So maybe they're just kind of like, okay, nobody really wants a papaya flavor, but they came out with this Amaya, I think it's called Amaya Colada or something like that. It was like a tropical something or another, but I definitely want to try that, because y'all, I really do. I like Poppy, but I do got to keep it real, y'all. Okay, this is a hot take, because I know Poppy is the more popular one of the like probiotic sodas or whatever, but I actually like Olipop better. I don't know why. I've tried multiple different flavors of each, and I'm like, I don't know why, to me Olipop just tastes better, but that's a hot take right there. Anyways, y'all, I do want to go ahead and play this clip right here to where she is talking about Bryan and, you know, opening up a little bit more, which, like, low-key, I was sitting over here waiting of, like, who's gonna open up about this, because obviously, as you guys know, I did make a couple videos to where she was commenting other people's posts and kind of, like, you know, alluding to, like, him cheating and him being unfaithful, and I think that she was actually really affected by this, and I was sitting over here like, girl, spill the tea, and she's not really fully spilling the tea, as you guys are gonna see right now, that she's just kind of, like, briefly going over it, but I'm like, girl, let's go ahead and put all the details out there, just for us nosy bitches, okay? Check this out.
With my ex. I don't want no hate. This is no negativity. It's just that because I keep on getting so many questions about it. And I know you guys are curious, and I feel like you guys have deserved the right to know. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys know. Every day waking up to something new. Boom, TikTok. Boom, Instagram. Boom, getting tagged in this. And of course, I'm a Scorpio. So one thing I'm not going to do is sit here and stay quiet. So I would approach him about it. Boundaries being broken, and boundaries have to have a lot to do with being perspective. So something I felt like is disrespectful, the other person probably felt like it wasn't being disrespectful. Moments later, I then seen that same individual was in Puerto Rico, then in Miami, less than 24 hours. I'm like, damn, bro, like, when did you even book this trip? Like, what the hell? At the end of the day, I really do wish him the best. And just because we weren't meant for each other, don't mean that he won't find his person.
There y'all see from right there, she's basically saying that she saw all different new things about Bryan, which, like I said, I do got to keep it with you guys, okay? I really do feel like, obviously, he, you know, got really, really famous really, really fast, and girls were throwing themselves at him. And this is where I say I really do feel like a lot of men, okay? I'm not going to say all, okay? But a lot of men just, they just can't resist the temptation, okay? So that's why I'm just kind of like, huh. Anyways, by the way, within that same YouTube video right there, I was going to play another clip, but then I realized that I rambled way too much in today's video, y'all, because obviously it's been so long since I talked about Love Island. In that same video right there, she's alluding to she is actually seeing somebody else. She was kind of like making a comment of like, oh, like the person that I'm seeing, like we're just, you know, making each other happy and just having a good time, like things like that. So I think she is seeing somebody else, okay? That's kind of like the vibes that I got from it, as well as other people on TikTok that were kind of like, oh, I think she's seen somebody else. And I was like, oh yeah, she definitely is. So I'm super curious to know if she's going to share that. I'm super curious to know if it's actually somebody who was a public figure as well too, because it seems to be kind of like the thing for, you know, other Love Island people to, you know, date other people from other like reality TV shows or other dating shows, you know what I'm saying? So I'm curious to know who she is dating. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.